Recording.
Okay. Yes, I see it right there. Started recording. I see it. Okay, so we're recording right now. All right. Okay, let's do this thing. Welcome, everybody. The Bodega Podcast. And myself, Master Bryce A90, B Dollar. Finally doing a review with these guys. Ever since I joined up with them. This is my first time actually reviewing with one of the people from the Bodega Podcast. George himself, or known as Evil and everything. I said that right.
Evil
Yes.
Once, baby. Hey, it's your quintessential Puerto Rican muffin, Jorge Evil Once. And it's a pleasure to be sitting here with Mr. B Dollar.
Yes,
To do
me,
one,
the HOOD in the house himself.
yeah,
Hooded Night 890 in the building.
sir,
WrestleMania 37 review.
yes, sir.
Night one.
I'm finally honored to sit here with you, brother. So I'm happy, man.
Yes, and it is a lot to discuss this tonight. A lot of stuff with this show. Finally letting fans back in, about 10,000, I think, or like 25,000.
20,000, like 50%.
Yeah, about 50%. Raymond James Stadium. This is the first time WWE let fans back in the building since over a year at this point.
Last WrestleMania.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
because WrestleMania last year had no fans, but
Yeah.
WrestleMania still ended up going in some form of way, and it somewhat worked. I will say that it was a very weird WrestleMania. Don't get me wrong, it was a little bit weird before it, because that was when SmackDown and Raw had to have no fans and everything. And I will say this, when it being without a year of fans, and yes, wrestling does need fans. It's no doubt about it, because going back that first night on SmackDown, I was wondering to myself, I wonder how WrestleMania is going to work. It's very eerie when you see people come out to no reaction and everything. And it had to do with Mania too. It's like, man, I wonder how this would have looked with a crowd. You just wonder that sometime. And throughout months, it was still a lot of COVID problems. And I liked it when they put the Performance Center students out there in, the crowd at the time when they were at the Performance Center. I kind of felt it kind of came off authentic. Yeah, I know they're being told what to do, but I like that better than the fake crowd noise when they brought in the Thunderdome. No, like, I don't hate the Thunderdome, and I like it in some ways with the screens and the pyro, which, it still keeps everybody safe because they didn't really let any people in. But I thought it was a little bit more authentic when they put the performance students out there. And I'll say it myself. Honestly, I kind of got used to it without the fans after probably about a month. I just went with the flow. I know some people told me like they're not gonna watch wrestling without fans, but at some point in time, I knew they were gonna come back anyways. But I was like, you know what? It is what it is. This virus stuff ain't going away anytime soon, like it is right now. So I just, I just accepted what it is. Every wrestling show had to adapt, and they somewhat made it work in some ways, but it's eerie at first. It's strange. It makes it feel kind of creepy in some ways, but after a month, I was like, I can get used to this, and I was actually used to it after a while.
Hey, but I'm glad we have finally got fans back.
Yep.
I know I got worried when we saw the raining, the lightning and stuff, but I was like, you know something? There's no way in hell Uncle Vince is gonna let now WrestleMania happen. It's not gonna get canceled. He's gonna have to take a lightning to the brain before he stops that show and stop getting that money. So
Yep.
I thank WWE. I thank Uncle Vince because of WrestleMania. We have WrestleMania weekend and a bunch of different shows that happened since Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, today, and gonna happen tomorrow. And if it wasn't for Uncle Vince and everybody talks shit about WWE, how they're buying the business and stuff like that, but competition brings the best out of everybody. And
Yes.
thanks to them, we get to see other wrestlers trying to do better than they are. So today was the first time in a year that we have fans in a show, and you
Yep.
heard the fans, you heard them, and you can see the excitement on the performers' faces when you hear the loud cheer and the boos, and you go like, "Wow, it's been a whole year."
Yep. And
You
it felt good to have them back. You know, as long as they, took safety protocol and, they did it right and they made it work, that's the
Well,
important part.
they did it right because they were enforcing the mask when you walked in, and
That's
they were
good.
doing temperature checks also when you walked in. But if you saw WrestleMania like we did on Peacock, you saw a lot of fans were not wearing their
Yeah,
masks like they
some
were
some of them
supposed
don't
to.
give a fuck.
So unfortunately, I mean, you can lead the horse to the well, but you can't make them drink. You can give the fans all the precautions they want, and you can enforce it to a point. And fans, they did what fans are gonna do. They're gonna do what the hell they want to do. And as you saw by the show, a lot of people were not
Yep,
wearing their masks. So
that's true. They did take their mask off several times when they pointed the camera.
yeah,
And some ain't
to the
just not gonna
crowd.
give a fuck. Okay, and
Yeah,
let's remember here,
so
this is Florida we're talking about. So
yeah,
come on, they've gotten away with a lot of this stuff for the longest now. Okay, like I don't really agree with it that much, but they have gotten away. I said Florida is its own country. There's a reason why they get away with so much
yeah.
stuff and everything.
Florida and Texas are their own countries, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Texas on some other type shit. So, yeah, yes, that's the thing. I hopefully it's not a bad aftermath, and we don't hear a lot of cases. But at the same time, I won't be surprised if that happens at the same time too. Okay, so like I said, at some point, yeah, WWE was fiending to have fans come back. I say, well, if they can find a way to make it work, then okay, that's what I said with even New Japan. Even I know New Japan's had fans back for a long time. The difference between New Japan or just wrestling in Japan is this: like in Japan, we know they're gonna follow the rules and everything. They're gonna keep the mask on. They're not gonna make noise. They're just gonna stomp their hands, clap their feet, and make noise makers. That's why Wrestle Kingdom went on. But it's like the difference between Japan and America. America's not gonna give a fuck half the time. Okay, they go bullshit, and sometimes that's gonna turn out bad for everybody because then if you don't follow the rules and stuff, it's it's just they probably won't do it again. Then it probably gets canceled because then
Yeah.
don't be
And
surprised.
anyways, man, whatever, man. Let's just go
Yeah,
to the
I'm
action.
not gonna go into a whole COVID conversation right
Let's
now because
go.
that could be
Let's go.
debated all day.
Let's go to the first match because I was excited about the first match, brother. Let's go.
I got some things to say about that. Other than the rain delay, which we had to sit about 30 minutes, and like you said, the opening intro events was really good with Welcome to WrestleMania. We did kick off the show with the WWE Championship. Now, I'm gonna say this. In a way, I'm very happy, and I was still a little bit bothered by this at the same time. Number one, I'm thank God Bobby Lashley is still the WWE champion. Very good match because I was very worried they were gonna drop it back to Drew, and I hated that they broke up the Hurt Business because that was the best thing on Monday Night Raw. Even though Monday Night Raw mostly looks like shit, and the building to the build to WrestleMania ain't really been the best build. Also, it's been a lot of random matches thrown at the last second. This was a match I was looking forward to, but I was like, Lashley better win this because that's what I was happy about. Now, and it was a very good match too. Don't get me wrong on that. Also, very good match. And Lashley won, but Drew never tapped out, and I think he did get distracted by MVP. Now, the thing I was a little bit bothered by, I'm not happy this wasn't. I'm kind of mad this still was not the main event. That's what bothered me.
Hey, I think we spoke about this before, off the camera and on Twitter. We know why it didn't happen.
Because I made a
The
whole
woman,
video about it.
yeah,
Yep, I
the
made a
the
video.
woman movement, and I'm fine with the woman movement. And being two African Americans headlining, we already know they were gonna jump into that.
Yes,
So
that's true. And I've had some debates with people online, and I tell them like, you can't argue with me. And it's like, yes, both women are black, but then I'm like, yo, Bobby Lashley black too, so you can't really argue with me on that shit. Okay. The thing I didn't like was that they waited 24 hours to do it, and I think they
yeah,
caved in
yeah,
because of the internet
yeah,
and whatnot.
yeah.
Yeah, I know it's a Vince decision and whatnot at the end of the day, but I just felt like Stephanie had a big hand to do with this. Okay, And
course.
listen, I wasn't against them being the main event at first. All right. It's just, I get it. It's 2 nights of WrestleMania. Both Bianca and Edge won the Royal Rumble. It makes perfect sense to be the main event. You won the Royal Rumble. But then I had to remember, history in the past has shown us that even when you win the Royal Rumble, you do not main event WrestleMania. And I felt like this was Lashley's time. It's like, man, this man waited 16 years to get where he is right now. I felt he deserved the main event. Yeah, we've seen these two face each other before, so we can go all the way back to Slammiversary 2016 and whatnot also. But I just felt like this was his time to main event the show. And I just didn't like that they waited 24 hours because it just didn't feel genuine. It didn't feel organic. It just felt very forced to me. I'm not knocking both Sasha and Bianca. They still had a great match out there. I'm not going against anything on that. I just felt like, yes, it is in a way an agenda that was still being pushed because we're going by a hashtag off of Twitter.
Yeah.
And that's what, that's why I feel like they caved in. Because trust me, I've even had people try to argue with me, say, oh, you're a sexist, you're a misogynist, you're holding the women down, blah, blah, blah. I don't really give a fuck. It's okay. Somebody said that'll be on YouTube the other day. I just kind of laughed it off and played along with it. So it's like this. And this is Sasha stands. Like I said, I feel like they just gave it to a lot of stands, but that's the thing. People don't want to have logical debates with you on this stuff. They just want to say, you're hating on the women. You're hating on the women and whatnot. And I gave my facts. And don't get me wrong, both the WWE title and the women's title, they've had very bad feuds. Or not feuds, but very bad builds, okay? Because that Hurt Business stuff really made me mad when they broke that up. That was like one of the best things.
All I know is this, man. The match was awesome.
Agreed.
The right person won, Lashley.
Thank God.
The only thing that I was pissed off about is Drew McIntyre and the fake distraction by MVP. All he said was Bobby, and he got distracted by him yelling, saying Bobby. He didn't get on the apron. He didn't go towards the ring. He said it was Bobby, and he got distracted, and boom. I don't know. That was just didn't make no sense to me because I'm like, dude, like what? But the right person won. I don't care. I'm not even gonna go crazy about the finish, but the right person won. I was happy, and it kicked the show off the right way, even though, like you said, it should have been the main event. But it started the people, if you notice, half of them or more were going for Bobby.
Yeah, Drew. They were. I didn't think Drew got really booed out the building. There were still people that liked Drew because some people thought Drew was going to get out the building. But
Lash got so hey, I ain't mad at it. I'm not mad about it.
Yeah, definitely not mad. Like you said, the finish I'm not the biggest fan of, but people were on Lashley's side, so. Like, that meant a lot to me. I'm glad he still got his shine, though, because at first I was kind of worried. Like, it's bad enough he's not the main event, but I'd be really more pissed off if he lost the WWE title right there. Because I'm like, this reign does not need to end. This reign needs to keep going. I know still people want to see Bobby versus Brock one day, and, hopefully that does happen maybe by SummerSlam at some point. But I was like, he has to retain the WWE Championship. I'm like, that was at least one of the things that made me very happy because I was very happy when he won it on Raw and I jumped out of my seat. And even a lot of people online would agree that was probably one of the most genuine feels that people were actually really happy about to see was him finally getting his due. Because I was worried when Bobby Lashley came back to the WWE, okay? Because I felt like they put him in so much bullshit. And I know he had to jump through a lot of hoops from the Sami Zayn bad sister thing to the Lana stuff, just Leo Rush not that bad, but just a lot of stupid shit before they put him back with MVP. Yes, we've seen it in TNA before. Yes, we've seen the Beatdown Clan. Yes, Bobby Lashley was a motherfucking monster in TNA, and I hated how they booked him at that point.
Still is.
Yes, and I agreed. And I hated how they were booking him, but the minute they put him back with MVP, like something obviously works. If it worked in TNA, it's gonna work here. And that's what happened. Yes. It worked, and, they added more people in Hurt Business from Shelton and Cedric, and, I was really kind of hoping they would have put Naomi in at one point because I was like, MVP was saving folks' careers to me. That's why I like the Hurt Business. Like, he saved 3 people's careers and brought them from obscurity and made them into a force. And like I said, when he won the WWE title, that's what just made it genuine, because they finally booked him the right way and made him into a beast. Now, like I said, I don't like it that the whole business thing was broken up, but I'm glad they have made him look dominant and finally just becoming, the champion, because it's not a lot of black champions and whatnot. And I just look at that photo when they're all sitting there. MVP's got the cane and they all standing together. That photo just was very fucking cool to me. That's like one of the times, you could really be happy to say something that happened in WWE. That was just one of those things that just made me jump out of my seat and just kind of have a mark out moment. So that's what made me glad, because I'm like, finally, they're booking him like they did in TNA, and finally he became the champion. Not some secondary champion. He had the main title. He had the title. Okay? So that's what made him the shit, and I'm glad this reign is going to keep going. So...
jumping from that to the next one, we had the women's scramble tag team.
Watch this. Okay, this turmoil. Where do I begin? Okay,
the right team won. That's all I have to say about this.
Yeah, I could talk about the whole Mandy Rose slipping, going down to the ring, or Greg Hamilton messing up the announcement, or whatever the hell Lana and Billie Kay was doing out there. I was like, you know what? Natalya and Tamina won. I'm cool with that, given that, they've kind of made them look dominant and everything. I know a lot of people aren't the biggest fans of them, which I'll say that myself too, but I was like, it was a lot of makeshift teams, and the only real team you really had in there was just the Riot Squad, because everyone was makeshift. Carmella and Billie Kay, Lana and Naomi, which I just hate that. And, Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke have been a team for a minute, but they never win. So this was just like a botch fest. And even friends I know will sit there and tell you that they text me saying, this is my smoke break. This is my bathroom break match. I'll be back. So a lot did not really care to see it. But I'm like, you know what? I'm cool with Tamina and Natalya winning. If they just get the belts off of Jackson Baszler, it's whatever. I know some people say that's not going to mean much, but I was like, you know what? Let them have the win. I'm not really mad at this decision. It was a botch fest, but I'm not mad at this decision like a lot of other people are.
What was the next match?
All right,
I got nothing to say about this. So.
Okay. Yeah. Next though, Cesaro versus Seth Rollins. One of my favorite matches of the night. I like this. I like this a lot. I think this is really good. I really did like the finish. I loved Seth doing that freaking corkscrew frog splash. That looked badass. I wish there would have been a little bit better build, because I liked the campaign video they did. I wish we would have got more of them, though. We only got one, and that was on SmackDown. So it wasn't the most build, but I enjoyed this match a lot. I enjoyed Cesaro dodging the damn curb stomp into a freaking elbow, which was cool, and a little UFO spin, the swing, and then the Gotch neutralizer. Both of these guys had a very good match, which I knew they would. So this was enjoyable, and I think the fans were on Cesaro's side, because I didn't know Cesaro never had a singles match at WrestleMania. Most of the matches he's been in was either tag matches or being on the pre-show. Yeah. So I hope he gets a push out of this and it goes somewhere. I really, really do, because I just don't want this match just to happen and then, nothing happens with Cesaro.
The one thing about this match, it wasn't long enough for me. I wish it was longer. I wish it would have been longer.
Yeah, because how long was it about?
It wasn't that long. To be honest with you, it should have been longer. It should have had a better, longer build. I love how the whole match was set up. I love the ending. I love Cesaro winning. You could see the emotions of him finally getting him that WrestleMania moment.
Yeah.
Winning the ring. And Seth Rollins, once again, he is a big superstar, but he's a bigger superstar by taking the defeat and getting the pin. It shows that he wants to build people up. It's not just about him.
Yeah, he's putting people over, because the match was about 11 minutes, but it was cool to see someone new win.
I wish it would have been longer, to be honest with you.
Agree. Yeah, they could have did another like 5, maybe 10 more minutes out there. I wouldn't have mind that. What else did we have? And I know there were some segments throughout the night.
Skip the segments.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go into the whole Titus and Hulk
Nah.
Hogan thing because listen, I could sit here and say fuck Hulk Hogan all day, but it's kind of whatever at this point. But
Yeah.
let's move on. Okay, New Day. New Day. Kind of cool to see them all with the gold. I like the little fusion thing with Woods and freaking Kofi out there going against AJ and almost putting up the X sign. RIP DMX. Yeah, I'm glad he did that. That was cool to see. This match was all about Amos, really. This is what this match was about. People were ready to see him get in the ring. They wanted to see his strength. They wanted to see him throw people around because at first I almost thought this guy wasn't even wearing wrestling gear at one point. But, they were waiting for that hot tag to come in, and they were just waiting for mostly him to get in the ring and throw people around. And I like the forearm. They, AJ jumping off him because now AJ's like, what, a triple champion or a Grand Slam champion now?
Yeah, Grand Slam champion. This is the first time he won a tag team belt, which is crazy. I can't believe that.
Yeah, because he's been WWE champion, he's been US champion, he's been Intercontinental champion, and now tag team champion. So I knew they were gonna win. I never really had no doubt in my mind. New Day, I just feel like my God, they've had the tag belts 11 times. I still think, and I'm just to kind of go back to the Hurt Business. That was still a bad idea just to take the belts off of them so they could just drop it to AJ. But it's almost like they had to get AJ on the card somehow because they didn't really have nothing for him. Because at first I was like, didn't this guy main event WrestleMania last year with The Undertaker? Like, didn't he main event last year? And I was like, okay, he's in a match, a tag match. So
the thing that I hated about this match is that they made AJ Styles look like a damn clown. To
why
me,
would you say that?
Because you knew what was going on. Like you said, they were waiting for almost to make the hot tag. Everybody's waiting on the edge of their seats. But it was like, okay, we're going to keep AJ away from him to the whole match so he'll make the tag. And all these, I just, this guy main evented last year on WrestleMania. This year, he's on the third match, stuck in a stupid tag team with a guy who don't even belong with him. There's no, I just don't see them together, but they put them together. And they just went out there to make him look like a clown, like just go around there, don't make the tag till, later on, take the whole match, get beat up, do all the bullshit that you have to do, then tag him. Now we have almost come in, look like an unstoppable monster now, blah, 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 and then you win the belt. But last year you were a champion. You know what I'm saying? It's just sometimes I don't get the writing. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the fan in me just like, dude, like AJ's my dude. I know AJ from TNA. He built Impact Wrestling. Let's all the shit. He built Impact Wrestling. He put Impact Wrestling on the map. He was Mr. Impact, period.
Yes.
And when he came to the WWE, he just they took the ball and kept running, and he got even bigger than he was at Impact.
Yep.
To have him do this, just like, come on, man.
Yeah, because you're right. And like you said, from AJ to TNA to New Japan and, to WWE, and they kept them very high. Don't get me wrong, AJ can make anything work. Like, this dude can go out there and wrestle a broom and it'll look good, okay? But like you said, this whole thing with the bodyguard, it's like, I don't mind it. Like, it's still giving AJ wins. He's not really losing, but at the same time, this match was mostly about Amos. That's all this was really was, because it was his debut.
AJ could wrestle by himself against both New Days and probably beat both of the New Day by himself. He don't need almost, but they made him look like, okay, well, you're gonna be the weak link on this match. We're gonna make you look like the weak link, so the fans will believe that for almost, and then almost will take it clean. So you mean to tell me almost can't wrestle for shit then if you're making them look like unstoppable? What happens when you break them up and then almost can't wrestle or give you a decent performance?
Yeah, because this is like the first match we've ever seen him in. And
exactly.
And I've heard rumors that, I heard he wasn't that good anyways, but it's like, well, this guy's gonna have to get in the ring and wrestle at some point in time. Don't get me wrong, he wasn't bad. I don't think he sucked out there, but this was just to show his strength,
No.
just throwing people around.
Exactly.
That's
But
all.
it just took Styles down from what Styles is always at.
Agreed. Because AJ is always on top. It's just like, okay, I got to go out there and wrestle from under tonight at WrestleMania.
Yes.
And build up the hot tag.
Basically,
so yeah, I would say Don't Get Me Wrong, was a decent match. I didn't hate it or anything, but you are right about AJ, kind of looking weak, and they just had almost do some basic stuff out there. So I don't mind the decision.
And like you were a super fan for Lashley, I'm a super fan for Styles.
Oh yeah, AJ's the shit. I can't say nothing bad. Like I say, AJ, that's one of my favorites too. Okay, AJ has just always been raw. The only thing I don't like about AJ sometimes, I got to the point I wish they gave him a different theme song.
Yeah, but hey, I am mad about it.
Yeah, I do miss Evil Ways.
I love him. I mean, I even hated him at one point in Impact Wrestling because he was always about him. He always win. I mean, goddamn, I hate Styles already. But he's that good. Even at this age, you think he's slowing down, and he's still working at the same pace or more than he was when he was in his 20s down in Impact.
Yeah, he's still the shit. Like, he hasn't really slowed down. He's still the shit. He puts on great matches still. He's one of the best people you have.
Yes. So, other than that, the right team won. I'm so sick of New Day already. I'm so done with New Day. I don't know.
Yeah, wait, hold that thought real quick. Okay, hold on a second. Give me 1 second. I gotta go check the door real quick. The doorbell's ringing. Keep talking. I'll be right back.
All right. So, we're here. WrestleMania was awesome. The next match we had the snoozer of the night, which I don't know why this match made it to WrestleMania, which was Braun Strowman against Mr. Shane McMahon. Here comes the money, whatever. Why did this match make it into WrestleMania is beyond me, because we already know what's going to happen. Shane McMahon is going to come in. He's still going to do his little shaking and bake. He's going to throw in some Florence, and then he's going to fall off of something, because he always falls off of something. That's Shane McMahon's, go-to, is always falling off of something.
Yes.
So we got Shane McMahon against Braun Strowman. Why is it here? Have no idea.
Oh, okay. So we're talking about that match now?
So it's here because it's Shane McMahon. He was going to fall off of something for the 27th year in a row at WrestleMania. He's going to fall off of something, like always happens. This match should have never been on WrestleMania. This should have been, as a matter of fact, this should have been on a show on Raw, like they were supposed to, or on the kickoff show, if they would have had a kickoff show tonight.
Okay. Yeah,
this match was horrible. Horrible. Why it was even, I have no idea why it's here. I just know.
All right, because I want to say something about this whole match. And you are correct. This whole feud makes no sense. It's looked horrible. We brought in report cards. Braun is stupid.
Yellow flag on that one. Yellow flag, 15 yards on that.
My friend said it best to me on the phone yesterday when I was talking to him. Shout out to Gerard. This was just to get Shane McMahon on the card so he can do some crazy, insane stunt like he usually does and whatnot. And I like Shane McMahon and whatnot, but I almost wanted him to go over for some reason. I was like, I don't even give a shit about Strowman nowadays. I was just going to have Shane win just to laugh at it. But this whole cage match thing with Shane, you're not going to escape me. They've been calling me stupid all my life. They have? When? This is new to me. And you knew it was going to be some interference. It's a cage match. We know everybody can get in a cage match, okay? Yeah. And it was one of those things. Why did we need to see this on WrestleMania? It's like, why is this even here? And you could see the reaction online tonight. Do we really need to see this match? Like, come on. And the whole Shane jumping off, doing a front flip. very crazy and scary, I will say that. But it's Shane. We're used to this, but I think they could have just had Strowman climb out the cage instead of just go back in and then do one more power slam in the match. Because Strowman, I don't even know where they go with Strowman at this point half the time anymore. I'm surprised he even had a match at Wrestle. I'm surprised he wasn't even that damn Andre Battle Royale thing, to be honest. Because why did we even need this match? Really, it's like it's Shane McMahon, like. Come on, like, and I like Shane, but I was just waiting for him to do a freaking elbow off. I thought he was gonna do an elbow off the cage. I was waiting for that. I just wanted to see Shane do it, just to do it. It's like that's big Shane out there. That's Shane-O.
I knew he was gonna do a fall because he does that every year. It was gonna be a fall somewhere.
Agreed.
For the 27th straight year, he's gonna fall through something.
Oh yeah, he's gonna do some insane stunt, win, lose. I will say one thing though. Even people, some would agree, they thought he led the match out there. They thought Strowman wasn't keeping up. It's Shane. He I like Shane. He's like one of the other.
I love Shane. I love Shane.
Like Shane's my guy. I still like him to this day. Like I still like the crazy stuff he does. But still, this match was not really needed, and this feud has been just come on, hopscotch and Slime Time Live and just report cards. It's like, why is this a match for WrestleMania again now? Makes no sense.
Because everybody has to have their WrestleMania moment. That's why.
But next though, I know they brought the Hall of Fame class 2020. It's whatever, NWO, but I still like NWO, so too sweet. I like when people tell me tonight, they say Kevin Nash looks like he just doesn't want to be there. Everybody was saying that tonight, like Kevin Nash, like, I'm just here for my payday. He just looks like he doesn't want to be there. He's like, why am I doing this again? How much am I getting paid now?
Yeah, okay, that's why I'm here.
I'd rather see Kevin Nash on commentary or booking the show, to be honest. Like Kevin Nash, I like Kevin Nash on commentary. Like I go back to that clip as him as his last day as WCW booker and doing like that episode of Thunder. So I'd rather see him, but like Nash was just there for a payday. Like, the rest of everybody else, I didn't really watch the Hall of Fame the other night. I just kind of watched the people I wanted to see. I thought JBL was actually pretty funny when he said, like, cry me a river snowflake. I'm like, okay, he got me with that. He was being a true heel. Fuck the Bellas. I just don't care. Liger, I don't know. I like Liger. Liger deserved it. It's Liger. It was kind of crazy. He just retired at that time. It's Liger. So I like Liger. Bulldog, very long overdue. Shatner, whatever. And I'm sure the 2021 Hall of Fame class will be out there tomorrow night. Like, Van Dam deserved it. Kane could have won anytime. Honestly, it's Kane. Khali. Great Khali. Yeah. I didn't even know they put Ozzy in there. So I don't know, man. They're running out of people to put in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it's like everything is WWE people. That's it.
It's all WWE guys. Or if you did one match in WWE, they'll put you in there and whatnot. Because I'm like,
where's Vader?
I've been saying that for 4 years.
Where's the Midnight Express? Where's Jim Cornette? There's guys out there that still and will never get the respect from WWE, regardless of why they did. Where the Fabulous once.
I think Cornette said he didn't want to go in there because I feel like he would have to sign some contract and then he's got to like give up like half of some stuff or I forget how it went. But
the Midnight Express needs to be in whatever Hall of Fame of wrestling there is.
Is Bam Bam Bigelow in there yet?
Honestly, I don't know. To be honest with you, I want to say yes, but don't quote me.
Yeah, because it's a lot of names people will say, like, man, they still ain't in the Hall of Fame yet. I'm like...
Vader should have been there already, period. Like you said, 4 years, he should have been there already.
Yeah, I'm surprised they had put Molly Holly in there. But, yeah, I mean, there's no knock on Molly or anything, but I'm surprised, she was in there. And I just be looking at some of these Hall of Fame guys like, okay, who is this now? And then you got the Warrior Award, which at least they're finally getting that right nowadays. Titus deserved it, and it's for people that have worked in the company. I know people want to Shad Gaspard to get it, and I'm sure he will because
next year.
Yeah, because he died a hero. He deserves all the respect in the world for what he did and whatnot. he died a fucking hero and whatnot. So at least they're finally getting that right. But like I said, when I look at the Hall of Fame, it's like you can't take this stuff very seriously.
You know, at first when they started doing it, I said, okay, this is kind of cool. But now it's just it's a joke now. It's just a joke.
We be throwing anybody in there.
Yeah.
Coco beware.
Yeah, next year be Bad Bunny next year.
Oh boy, Jeff Jarrett. When they put Jeff Jarrett in, I was like, they only put him in because they paid for his rehab. That fucking snake oil sale. I call him a snake oil salesman, especially after that whole GFW and nearly killed Impact again. I hated that. And then when they got rid of him from the whole Impact, like thank God, it's like they just Dudley paid for his rehab. We'll put you in the Hall of Fame. I'm like, okay, and just. Like I said, you just can't take it. It's cool when you see some of your favorites go in there that
exactly
honestly deserved it, like Van Dam or Kane or some other guys. But some of these people they just put in there, it's like, come on now. Like, hey, I like NWO, but NWO had like 50 different people in there.
You know what I'm saying? Actually, I was waiting for the Undertaker to come out just for the hell of it.
Oh yeah, and I'm sure he'll probably be in there by next year because
well, no, I mean in WrestleMania just come out because he always he's been at WrestleMania for like 25 years.
Oh so yeah, we still got tomorrow night.
So yeah, I figure even on a wheelchair he'll come out on a wheelchair rolling down or something. And
yeah,
again like we saw Undertaker
the Undertaker, but we still got him tomorrow night though. Undertaker's just shooting on everything, man. These guys are looking real soft nowadays. He's not wrong. He wasn't wrong. So it's just funny how people just go at Taker's head ever since that Rogan interview now. So they just keep coming at his head now. But I'm like, well, he wasn't particularly wrong. He made a point and he kind of been proving himself right for a good minute now. So there you go. The Taker, we'll probably see him tomorrow night, though. I got some things to say about that when we get towards the end. But next match, though, the co-main event. Oh, boy. Bad Bunny and Damian Priest versus Miz and Morrison. The Dancing Bunnies came out. The new KRS-One and Rakim themselves. Miz and Morrison rapping. Oh, boy. You know what? As this feud has looked so weird to me. And
I am not gonna take any Bad Bunny slander. I'm just telling you.
No, I'm not saying I'm bad about him.
I'm not taking no Bad Bunny slander. I'm just saying that.
I will say this: as weird as this feud has kind of been and whatnot, especially with that car painting stuff looked so bad on Monday. Though we're gonna paint a car, you didn't even destroy it. Now we kept waiting on $3 million Bugatti, but Bad Bunny. Listen, Bad Bunny actually cares. He's a legitimate fan. Listen, I don't know the guy's music that much. I heard him several times in the past. I know he's had wrestlers in his music videos, from Booker T to Stone Cold. I forgot the song he did with Drake, but he was wearing the old school Eddie Guerrero Latino Heat t-shirt. So Bad Bunny, he did good. He did not do bad. He took this stuff seriously. They said he was training. I was surprised he had this much offense in the match. I thought it was going to be one of those things where,
true.
Where, Priest was going to get the shine, and then Bad Bunny would come in for the finish. But he wasn't bad. He took this stuff seriously. I thought he did good. I thought he did a freaking Canadian Destroyer too. Like, it's just when you see these celebrities matches, they're just doing this for publicity. But Bad Bunny's a legitimate wrestling fan. He gives a fuck. So that's why I'm not mad. He's gonna bring exposure. People know who he is. It's gonna get over 1 million views on the internet or YouTube. Even if you haven't listened to this man's music before, you know who he is, okay? Like I said, I don't know his music that well. I just know he's a legitimate fan. So he did nothing wrong. I thought he did good. This was actually a good match. Because at first, when I heard it was just going to be Miz versus Bad Bunny, it's like, okay, I don't want to see the Miz because it's the fucking Miz of all people, and he ain't the best wrestler in the world. And then it's like, we don't even know if Bad Bunny could wrestle yet. So that's why I'm kind of glad they made it into a tag match. And because it's like, come on, Priest had to wrestle on this show. It would have made no sense for Priest not to wrestle on WrestleMania. Okay, I hope something good will happen with him, because we probably won't see more Bad Bunny after this. Okay, but he's been hanging around since like the Royal Rumble and everything. So the question is now, where does Priest really go on from this point in time. And, Miz and Morrison will probably still be seeing them do silly stuff. It amazed me Miz was the WWE champion like 4 weeks ago now at this point. Because, like, even that music video, like, this guy was the WWE 3 weeks ago, right? The champion 3 weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah, this wasn't bad. This wasn't that bad.
All I have to say is this. Pandemic hit. Nobody's making money. WrestleMania is going to be in Tampa. It's a Latino city, town, state, whatever you want to call it. Uncle Vince made a call. Bad Bunny, come here. I got a plan for you, brother. I got a plan for you. Uncle Vince laid it down for you. I'm gonna have you train. We're gonna have you wrestle WrestleMania. You're gonna blow up. Bad Bunny is the number 1 or top 5 music downloadable, whatever you want to call it. The man is on the top 5 in the whole United States, the whole world. Everybody know who he is.
Yes.
Everybody know who Bad Bunny is. You don't even know. You don't have to know his music. You see a picture of him. That's Bad Bunny. You know who that is.
Yep.
2, he's Puerto Rican, so he's down with me because we stick together. And Adrian Priest, Puerto Rican. Punishment Martinez from ROH.
Yep.
We're going to put them together. First day you go back to making money in Tampa, it's a big Latino crowd's going to be there. When that dude got into the ring and did that place was on fire.
Yep.
You saw a lot of Latinos went down on WrestleMania to see this man wrestle. Tonight they made money. That match alone is gonna break records because it's gonna be shown everywhere. Puerto Rico, all different Latino countries and stuff like that. This is where Uncle Vince differs and goes away from everybody else. He knows how to bring that money in. He knows how to squeeze that last penny in. He took the hottest guy right now, and even nobody knew what was going to happen from then till now, and it's been nothing but money ever since.
That's
and
true.
this dude, like you said, he's been training since November, and that dude showed off for being his first time ever in a ring, like having a match. He just put himself ahead of a lot of guys who have one match and stunk to this guy. This guy looked good.
He looked good. He wasn't bad. He
And
sold well.
He got his WrestleMania moment. He got a belt under his career. He's a Grammy Award winner. He made money for that company just on tonight. And like you said, we will never see him again after this.
Yep. And I'm sure he'll show up at one point in the future, but the whole frequent thing, showing up every week, that's gonna be dead at this point in time. This was WrestleMania season, and this was for Miz and Morrison. So hopefully, Priest is still gonna be getting a push from out of all this.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Morrison fan, but I love The Miz. The Miz has been one smart wrestler since he's been in WWE, 13 years now? That dude's been there, not one injury. That dude knows what he needs to do. And whatever they give him, he makes gold out of it. Regardless of if it's a stupid storyline or a good storyline. For something like this, we need you to bring the belt out of Bunny and sell the crowd for this. They did their job.
Yes,
now,
they did.
Like you mentioned, now we got to see what happens with Priest going forward now.
Yep, that's the thing. And like you're right. Like you said, there's a reason why Miz has never got. Yes, he works the safe style, the WWE style. I know a lot of people don't like it, but you're right. There's a reason why he's never been injured. He may not be the best in the ring, but the guy can talk his ass off and cut a great promo when he needs to, and be a very good heel and whatnot. Especially being promos. Morrison, I've always liked Morrison. I always thought he was the better person, but there's a reason why he was released all those years ago. Morrison was just never really good on the microphone. That's the thing. Great in the ring, but he just never was that good on the mic. And I'm glad they brought him back, but even I kind of questioned his booking ever since. But I figured he'd be back with Miz and everything. So, like I said, they did their job. Miz did his job, And it was what it was, and it wasn't bad. I know a lot of people had a lot of low hopes going into this, but
Yeah,
this turned out pretty good.
and next year, Bad Bunny will be in the WWE Hall of Fame next year.
I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be
He,
surprised at all.
he won a belt, and he's a Grammy Award winner, and he won a match, so he'll be in the Hall of Fame next year.
Celebrity wing.
Yep. So yeah. So no, and then the following year as a wrestler.
Yep. Oh man, because I'm gonna say something when we get near the end of the show, because I know we're getting a lot of rappers trying to get into wrestling right now. I'm gonna get back to that near the end, but because I got some couple things to say about that. But we finally move on into the main event. SmackDown Women's Title on the line. Sasha Banks, Bianca Belair. Great match. I enjoyed it. Despite my feelings on who should be main event or whatnot, I never said this match was not gonna suck, and they showed out there. Bianca, of course, beast mode. Just when she did that suicide dive, Sasha and then Bianca caught him, carried it back in the ring. That was cold. There was some cool looking spots in this match. All right, and I enjoyed this a lot. They went out there, just played to the strength of Bianca. Sasha just diving. It was just a really back and forth. It was a war out there. I did like the spot when they were out near, like on the turnbuckle, and they did the tree of woe, and then Bianca ended up doing a 450 and everything. That looked cool. And then what was it? She hit Sasha with her hair, which left a mark on her side. I will say that. And when she hit the KOD, which I didn't know it was a kiss of death. I always kept calling it the King of Diamonds. I'm sure people think strip club reference or whatnot, but her family jumped out almost over the barricade. People went nuts for it, and it was a very good moment. And Cole said it like everybody on the internet said before. First time, well, we already know women have main event, but two black women have main evented WrestleMania. So match is great.
Was it also Belair's birthday today?
Say that again.
Was it also her birthday?
No, Bianca's birthday was like yesterday. I think it was. So I'm like, Bianca had to win this match. Yeah. She had to win. I would have been surprised if she lost this match. I really would have been surprised if she lost. So I'm glad she won.
I got a stupid question. What the hell does EST stand for? EST.
I think with the EST, it always meant, when she says she's the fastest, the greatest, the strongest, that's what it means, what you could put behind EST. Like, she's basically the best in a way.
Oh, okay.
The greatest. Because, yes, we could go a lot about her booking ever since she got to the main roster, because at first, like, you sure you want to bring this girl up from NXT and whatnot? No, she never had the NXT women's title. And then when they brought her onto the main roster, she wasn't barely on TV. And then I remember they had promo videos, and they didn't really do nothing with her on Raw, okay, until they moved to the SmackDown. And I was genuinely happy when she won the Royal Rumble, because that was one of my picks to win, okay. That was definitely one of my picks to win the Royal Rumble, and I was glad she won, and this was the right decision. Yes, we could talk about how the build was not good for Sasha and Bianca. I think because the whole Reginald thing and just the whole Baszler and Jax, that kind of ruined it.
I actually thought Reginald was gonna come out and help help Sasha at one point because of how he wanted to work with her, stuff like that. And then I felt like Sasha was gonna turn full heel. So I figured that Reginald would have come out and help her win to keep the belt. She goes full heel, but that didn't happen. I don't know why I was thinking that way, but yeah.
But we had a straightforward match, though.
Yeah.
We had a straightforward match, a very great match. Some people think it would have went longer because the match was at least about 17 minutes. So what I read, I think about 17 minutes and 51 seconds. But this was not bad. And I think both women did a great job out there. And like I said, the right person went over. So, I enjoyed it. Like I said, despite my thoughts on who should have main event and who, I never thought this match was ever going to suck. Okay. And the right person went over, so I'm cool with that, and I didn't mind the main event. It was good. So
what do you think now will happen with Sasha now?
I'm sure we're gonna get a rematch maybe at some point in time because It's almost like when Bayley lost the title because nobody didn't really know where Bayley was going to go. I was surprised Bayley didn't even have a match for Mania. She popped up on Mania tonight a few times here and there, and the people were chanting her name because even I felt like she should have been on the card. But I don't know, but I think we'll probably see a rematch with Bianca and Sasha again, most likely by the next pay-per-view. So I think this will continue in a way. Okay, I think that's definitely gonna happen. We'll probably find that out on SmackDown the following week. So expect a rematch. Expect it. I don't think this is over unless they want to move on to the next challenger or unless we start calling more people back up from NXT then.
Well, yeah, because I was thinking, I just saw Io Shirai just lost her belt. So
Yeah.
I was expecting her to be showing up now or maybe next week to be the next challenger for Bianca. I was maybe.
Yeah, that's true. And when it comes, these after Mania shows like Raw after Mania or SmackDown after Mania, someone from NXT is gonna debut on the show. And we've seen that all the time now. From booking wise, it ain't really the best track record with a lot of these NXT call ups that have been brought to the main roster. But some have worked out well. Some, and we could go on a long list of who they really messed up. Cough, cough, Aleister Black.
Yeah.
Almas. Just
Yeah.
several people we could go on a list from, but I think they got it right with Bianca. So, hopefully this train keeps rolling on and this keeps going well. But I think we will see some debuts. I think Io may end up on SmackDown for all I know. So I expect that to happen. But like overall, this entire show, it was good. I think it was. I'm trying to grade it.
I go with a B.
Yeah, I could go with that. B minus in a way. I think the best matches on the show was Bobby and Drew. The main event itself, Cesaro and Seth. What else did we have on here? The
Well,
turmoil.
I gave it a B because of the turmoil sucked.
Agreed.
How they treated Styles. And the Braun Strowman car crash. So that's why I gave it a B. Yeah, it was with a B.
That's true. And the Bad Bunny stuff was actually pretty good. Yeah, I think that's most of it. Like I said, the Styles thing. I didn't mind Styles and them winning, but like you said, they just were there to make almost look strong. That's all they were really there for.
There was no point for that.
Yeah, that's true. It was just to get the belts on them.
Exactly.
They were just there to get the belts.
We're gonna give you this match, but almost you stay there no matter what. AJ is the general. We're gonna let him decide when it's time for you to come in, and that's what it was.
Yep, just lead the man and let him get his moment.
Get in, do what you gotta do. Let's go home.
Yep. Everything else about the show, like I said, I'm not gonna go into segments. Hall of Fame is Hall of Fame. Hopefully, we get Batista at some point in time. BB Rexa, thick as hell, by the way. So that's another compliment to add on. Yeah, she sang that's whatever, but thick as hell. That's the important part.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Who was it? Who's that girl again?
BB Rexa.
I don't know who that is.
Singer.
Okay, yeah, but a country, hip hop, R&B.
I think more like R&B pop. I think mostly pop though. Like I've heard about her several times. I don't know.
I've never heard of her. I never heard of her. This is the first time I saw her, and I'm like, holy shit, who the hell is that fine, thick ass girl?
Yeah, people were sending me messages like they don't know who she is, but she's thick as hell though. So
I gotta look her up now to find out what she sings. That I might have heard, but don't know who the hell she is.
Yeah, I don't know much about her music. I've just heard about her name like through several years. I think she did some song with Lil Wayne or some shit. So I don't know her music, but like I said, thick as hell. That's what's kind of the important part. Okay.
Yes. Oh yeah.
I will say, do you have any opinions? What do you think about tomorrow night? You got any opinions on that?
I think the one match that I'm looking forward to is the Asuka versus Ripley match.
That's gonna be great.
I'm looking forward to that match, and just because maybe Io Shirai comes out and helps Asuka retain the title, Japanese stardom, fusion back again type deal thing.
Okay.
You never know. I would love to see Natalia and Tamina win the tag team belts.
I'm hoping for that.
I'll see what happens. But other than that, man, like the main event, I don't even care who the hell wins. I do not want Edge to win.
Really?
No.
Okay, that's a different opinion.
I missed Edge. Don't get me. I missed Edge, but this the way how he came back and how they made it into a triple threat match. I have not been feeling that whole thing at all. I love what they done with Roman since he turned heel, which was finally about time, and they put him with Paulie, complete gold.
Okay.
I
What
love,
about Brian being in it?
yeah, but I think Roman Reigns wins because his twin cousin finally comes back from injury.
Oh yeah, Jimmy Uso.
Yeah,
Okay, you see
so
that
finally
happen?
goes back or whatever, and they finally do that whole Samoa family thing that like they wanted to do for a while.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
My opinion, I think Brian is just there to take the pinfall. I know a lot of people didn't want to see Daniel Bryan; they just only wanted to see Edge versus Roman because they feel like this is just trying to recreate WrestleMania 30
yeah,
again all over. I think I don't mind Brian being in the match, but I can understand like, kind of force himself in there because a lot of people do not want him in the match. But I'm like, he's just there to take the pinfall, okay? In my opinion, who I think is winning, I think Edge is winning. I think they've already kind of teased him turning heel. I think his promos have been fantastic, especially from SmackDown last night.
yeah,
And I think, like I said, they bringing a rated R superstar back. Not some
yeah,
feel good. I'm back after being gone for about almost 9-10 years. This is the old Edge. I'm here because I want to be here, and I'm wrestling at my full potential, not being a part timer that just kind of shows up every other time. He was only gone again because there was another injury, but it's like I won the Royal Rumble, okay? So I was
yeah.
number one, and I've been putting my ass on the line for this. So I still believe Edge is gonna win. So I'm gonna go with that. I'm still going with Edge. The rest of the show for tomorrow night, Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. I'm sure they'll have a good match out there. It's Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. The Logan Paul shit is just. I was just like, what? I don't even really know who the dude is. That I just know he's just some dude on YouTube. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
that's it. And I've heard more bad stuff about him and his brother more than I've heard good. I'll say that. I've heard a lot of controversial bullshit. Aren't one of these guys supposed to be fighting Floyd Mayweather or some shit?
No, he's supposed to be fighting some other guy. I think next week, like one of the celebrity. But the
Yeah.
thing is about Logan Ryan is that he actually looks good. Like he's actually taking this boxing stuff seriously. So, I hope he beats the guy next week because the guy kind of slapped him on the face of last week. So I hope he gets his revenge next week on that. So, but other than that, whatever.
Yeah, expect Logan Paul to hit Kevin
Yeah.
Owens. So just expect that. Who else is for tomorrow night? Because I'm trying to see what other matches there.
Well, I would
U.S.
love to
title.
have. I would love to have the Alpha Academy win the belts, the tag belts.
Um, Wait, which one is that?
The Alpha Academy against the
They
tag
did it
belt.
on. I don't think that's a match, but did they do that on Friday?
I thought they were supposed to have a match coming up. Another
No, that was yesterday. That Fatal 4-Way Tag title match thing.
Oh shit! Oh, so they're not having a match on Sunday?
No, they did that yesterday on SmackDown.
Oh, damn! I thought they were going to have a match on Sunday. Like the Alpha Academy versus the Dirty Dogs.
Nah, because it was those two teams, the Street Profits and Ray and Dominic. That was last night, so they did that already. Like that and Andre the Giant Battle Royale stuff with that. So yeah, that tag match isn't tomorrow. I know they got the U.S. title on the line. That just kind of, I just want Sheamus to win just because. I just.
Actually, yeah, because I'm not a big fan of the bro dude. He's annoying.
I called him Goofball RVD.
Yeah, I used to like him when he used to fight, UFC in his 20s, but then he had a little problem with the.
Yeah, the weed and Dana White got rid of him.
He always failed his drug tests, so he just finally just said, something, screw it, I'm out.
Yeah, he's basically just a posse, bro. Yeah. I forgot my lines, bro. Where's my line, dude?
He was awesome when he was a fighter, though, right? UFC fighter.
Yeah, now he just like rides around a scooter. He reminds me of Jay from Jay and Silent Bob. That's what he's
Yeah,
more reminding me
yeah, yeah.
nowadays.
The same hair and everything.
Because at least with RVD, he was more of a chill high. He wasn't goofball high and whatnot. Big E and Apollo Crews Nigerian street fight.
Apollo Crews for sure. Apollo Crews.
Yeah, he's got to win. I will say this: the Crews has gone all the way with this. This is the best he's looked. Okay, I know a lot of people don't like the accent, but this is the best he's looked.
So people forget that this was his gimmick before he came into WWE.
Uha Nation.
Yeah, the Uha Nation. People, I don't think people like, dude, he's doing the same thing he did before. Which
Yeah,
he should have done that when he came in the first time. Now waited what 6 years later or however long he's been there for to do it now.
Yeah, because I don't really remember the accent that much. I know a lot of people said, "Oh, he's just evil Black Panther." They wait him to say "Wakanda forever" and all that stuff.
Nation. People, I don't know. I mean, people are, oh, we're wrestling fans. No, you're not, because if you're wrestling fans, you know where they came from before they got there, and you know what they were doing, and that was his gimmick before. You know,
That's
and
true.
why they changed his name into the Apollo Crews from Uha Nation, which this makes sense now. The Uha Nation name should come back.
Yep, that's true. So, and you know, like I said, he's done good. He's gone all the way with this gimmick, and I've liked Big E. I'm glad they made him a single star now. So I think that's going to be great tomorrow night. And I think the only other match that's left is Randy Orton and The Fiend. I'm sick of this bullshit. I'm just.
Is it going to be a real match, or is it going to be a cinematic match?
I don't even know. They never said it was going to be another one of these funhouse matches. Thank God, because I just don't want to see that again. And the way they've been playing it, because if you notice the graphics when they go through the card, they have a lot of fire, and they keep reiterating, well, Randy Orton's going to go to the depths of hell to stop the Bray Wyatt Fiend shit. Yeah. And I'm like, they can't really do this time. Like, you got fans this time, so they're going to have to come out and do something. And, you know, honestly, I will say this. I don't really like this feud, but they've had a lot of build in this for the past few months. I'll tell you right now, I'd rather see Randy Orton versus Soulja Boy. I'd rather see that. The shit they've been doing on Twitter, I'd rather see them fight each other. That seemed more interesting to me. I'm like, hold up now. I like what I see right here. Okay, like Orton is a monster on Twitter because I don't like this Fiend stuff.
Yeah, he is.
I like that because this Fiend stuff, I've just gotten tired of just the whole Bliss thing and the whole. How many weeks am I going to see Randy Orton cough up freaking motor oil and stuff and fireballs and just, you know. Dude, didn't like Orton's wife get pissed off anyways because like Bliss sat on his lap and stuff, which I'm sure you have to think don't get hard, but
yeah, exactly.
But just from setting the Fiend on fire, and I even said this like they've called Bray Wyatt like a wannabe Undertaker for years now. I've been seeing it, but just I go back to that Funhouse shit last year, and people will sit there and try to debate. They'll debate me and my co-host saying, and we'll get mad because they don't like what we said about the Funhouse. So I say, well, it wasn't technically a match. It was a nostalgia acid trip. And it's like, I don't want to see that again. I don't need a history lesson of John Cena. Like, I don't need, what do I need to see? A history lesson of Randy Orton going through all of Evolution. And I'm like, dude, I don't need to see it. Like, you may have gotten away with that because you didn't have a crowd last year.
Yeah, exactly.
And I felt like they did that match. It's like, don't get me wrong. I understand the storytelling perspective of it. I understood that last year. I get that. I almost feel like John Cena just didn't want to work a match last year. That's why he decided to do this. Don't get me wrong. It was entertaining, but I'm not going to sit here and call it a wrestling match. Okay. I'm really not. I'm not saying Bray Wyatt's bad in the ring, but the Fiend stuff is just gone over the limit and stuff. And yeah, people say, well, Undertaker and Kane did this stuff. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Yes, we've seen supernatural stuff with them, but at least Undertaker and Kane were two guys that were just very big, intimidating, and would go to the ring and still kick your ass in a way. They look like monsters. I'm not saying Bray Wyatt doesn't, but didn't Arn Anderson saying like, I miss the old Bray Wyatt. Don't get me wrong. He lost all the time, but I like the old, Fedora Bray Wyatt. I popped when he came back last year during the summer against Strowman. And when he said, "No, what's wrong, brother? You just saw a ghost." And I liked his promos and the fedora hat and the Hawaiian shirts. I like that version of Bray Wyatt.
Me too.
The Fiend, and whatever, Mr. Rogers. When it was the split personality thing, I'm like, okay, I get it. He's getting payback on the people that have wronged him in the past, and I get the story with that. Same with Orton, but just from the whole no selling, like I can hit you with like 5,000 finishers and you could still kick out at one. And yeah, Undertaker and Kane no sold stuff too, but when y'all got to make the lights go red and then you just make him like this whole movie monster, just like the only person that can beat him is Goldberg apparently, but just the whole unstoppable, you can't beat him. And then it's like with the Funhouse match. You can't say it was a match because no one hit one. They only hit like one move. One move. It was like one punch being thrown. I'm like, that's not a fucking match. Okay, so the Fiend stuff, I'm just ready for this feud to end. Don't get me wrong. I'll give Bliss credit. I'm no fan of Bliss that much, but she has made this whole, gimmick work and everything, and she's done her part well. Now, some would expect tomorrow night, whatever happened to Nikki Cross, could she come out and interfere in this? I could see that because we haven't heard about her in a while, and she was not involved in this. So I've kind of forgot about her until recently when she was talking about on Twitter she's not been able to wrestle lately because I forgot about her. So I'm like, yeah, she was part of this thing. So, they could bring her out. Who I think is going to win? I'm sure the Fiend will most likely win just because, but I'll laugh if Randy Orton would win. I would laugh if Soulja Boy would jump the freaking guardrail and try to jump Randy Orton in the ring, and then it'd be some fight. It'd probably be a shoot for real, because honestly, Orton would most likely kick the shit out of Soulja Boy and everything, and like some real life shit and stuff. So,
Superman boy, Superman,
Superman now. Oh, like let you do that, Soulja Boy. Like I said, I haven't heard about a song from him in years. So it's Soulja Boy just trying to get clout and stay relevant because he just gets clout for doing crazy stuff and putting out bullshit video game consoles and interviews and whatnot. So the stuff with him online and even Bow Wow, which at least Bow Wow is trying to train to wrestle. I'm like, whatever, but we'll see. But like I said, I'd rather see Orton and Soulja Boy than I'd rather see the Fiend. It's just, I'm glad it's not a Funhouse match. That's what, to our knowledge, is right now, because we don't know if it's a cinematic match or not. But I'm like, it's a crowd this time, so y'all gonna have to do something in the ring with this, him going against this putty like Jason whatever Fiend whatever stuff, okay? Because even my co-host, the one that does the audio podcast with me, he told me the other day, like, I hope Randy Orton's getting paid a lot to do this shit. I really hope I hope they owe him. They said Vince owes this man, like, yeah, he owes him another WWE title run, if you ask me, because I liked him versus Drew during those times. Like I said, Randy Orton, I'll say this about Randy Orton. He was like one of the MVPs during this whole little pandemic era, because I loved the Legend Killer back. I loved that the sadistic heel Orton. Hell, I liked him when they had him with Ric Flair. It was like Evolution all over again. Yeah. I liked that. Okay? It's like until they got to the Fiend part, that's when I was kind of like, it could work, but then they just went too over the top with it. It got too over the top for me.
I'm just tired of that whole thing. I just went. Hopefully tomorrow is over.
Yep, it'll be over after that.
Hopefully.
So we'll see what happens tomorrow night. Like we said before, going into this show, the build has not been that good. There's one significant difference in this year's WrestleMania, which I even thought of, that they have now had to rely on their current talent, because usually it's been, for many years now, we have to bring back part-timer after part-timer. So you have to look at it. There is no Brock, there is no Cena, there is no Undertaker, there is no Triple H or anyone else you have brought back in these past years.
The Rock.
No Rock, no Batista.
Yeah.
Hell, not even Stone Cold Steve Austin, even though he doesn't really wrestle, but he's always been part of WrestleMania in some type of form or fashion. You cannot bring them there. And then again, they've kind of gotten away with this, because let's remember, it's only half a crowd out there. It's not a full arena. It's only like halfway attendance, like what you said, like 50, like 25% out there.
Like 50%. I think there was like 25,000, I think.
Yeah, because if this was like as originally planned, they would have had to bring all those guys in and whatnot. But due to COVID, all those guys aren't going to be here. Last year was different because they had to finish out the stuff they did. Okay, even though it was a lot of changes, still they still were there and they were still at WrestleMania. But now they have had a whole year and they cannot rely. So you got to start. You're gonna have to build new stars. That's basically you got to build new stars. I've said it before. WWE, they forgot how to build stars anyways. But it's like with the pandemic, some have stepped up, and you're gonna have to rely on them. You just can't rely on part-timers all the time because that's what it's looked like for a lot of years now. So that's like one of the most significant things about WrestleMania right now. It's like we cannot keep relying on these guys. Cena is very busy nowadays. Movie schedules. Taker retired, even though I felt like some of that was a work, if you ask me. He's not gonna. We can't rely on Undertaker all the time. Brock, he's not coming back until he gets full fans back. Triple H, it's Triple H, so it could go either way. You never know when he'll come back. We still had Shane on this card, so that's one other part-time and whatnot. But like you said, The Rock hasn't really been around in the past year. Didn't people think The Rock was going to go against Roman this year? I remember that rumor happening.
Who the hell knows, man?
Yeah, who really knows?
Maybe next year. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe next year, if there's even a full crowd by next year. Like I said, I'm not going to go into the whole virus because this stuff, you never know it.
And next year's in Dallas, so Stone Cold might come back for a match.
Didn't they have a commercial tonight with Austin? They had a commercial with him tonight. Yeah, and Austin's got we see Austin on his podcast. I think isn't that going on right now? The thing with Jericho tonight? No, that's tomorrow night. It's tomorrow night. Yeah, that's the thing with him because they were supposed to go to Hollywood this year, right?
I don't know. To be honest with you, I have no idea.
Yeah, because I think I think that was supposed to be this year, Hollywood, but they wanted to do Tampa again because they couldn't, do it last year. So, and it's already been a lot of stuff going on, this weekend. Didn't people say Becky was back now or something? She's probably gonna be back soon.
I saw it. Yeah, pictures of her working now. So who the hell knows? She might show up on Monday.
Yeah, Raw after Mania and all that stuff. Yeah, if it's one thing I will say miss about the crowds though, I do miss the Raw after WrestleMania crowd. But then again, WWE is kind of that nowadays, so they kind of know what to do and not let the crowd hijack. I've been kind of saying that for the past couple of years right now because they haven't been as hot like they used to. Because that was like my favorite time of the year, the night after WrestleMania, because you never know what happens, and that was always the funnest night to me because it just. Everybody's chanting. It's fun. You never know what anyone's going to do. And I would have fun. And I would never be tired throughout those 3 hours. Because it'd be time where Raw would just bore me to death that I'm damn near falling asleep. That was like the only times where it's like I'm very, very excited to watch it. So that is one thing I do miss about the crowd. So, but like you said at the beginning earlier, it's nice to have the fans back. And, they figured a way to do it. We heard some chants. And, we actually got chants, not fake crowd. Don't get me wrong, we got to go back to that after, tomorrow night and everything. It's back to the Thunderdome and stuff. So, I think people should just be glad that they just was able to do it because come on, the Super Bowl. Like I said, when I watched the Super Bowl, I say, okay, this is obviously what WrestleMania is going to look like. So it's best I did watch the Super Bowl at the time because this is basically like a preview of it. And, they've made it work. Hopefully we don't get any more delays tomorrow night with any weather problems since that went almost nearly about 30-something minutes tonight. That's true, yeah. So we already had storm problems. So hopefully it doesn't rain again tomorrow night. But they made it work. I think this was a decent night. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. You got anything you want to add on overall or anything to add to this?
Man, I just want to say thank you for having me and finally working on your show and doing something together. I had a great time, man. So I'm happy and thank you so much for having me on, brother.
Yeah, it was nice to talk to you. Very fun to work with you. Just,
yes, sir.
Just some different people. I hope we do more of these in the future, even with more people on here also, because I got other friends that want to work with me and other podcasts and stuff. They want to do joint reviews also. So it was nice to go. We went almost about an hour, 40-something minutes. I think that was
that's what happens when you have fun, brother.
That's what happens. Like you just, you're just shooting the shit, and you never know how long you can go on here. So. Yeah, man, this was fun. I'm gonna be back tomorrow night. Well, me and my other co-host Kyle Coleman. So get ready for that tomorrow night, and we're gonna be reviewing the show from there, and because he wants to do night 2, so we will be back tomorrow night for that. You gonna be doing another review tomorrow?
No, I'll be watching your show tomorrow night or the next day to find out what happened.
Okay. Cool. But yeah, like I said, this recorded. I know you got it recorded. I know you and the rest of the crew will take care of the rest of it, and the graphic. And I'm, when will this be uploaded, anyways? I might as well ask that.
Hopefully he'll get it today, so he'll probably do it and get it up for tomorrow. So it'll
Okay,
be
yeah.
up sometime tomorrow.
All right, cool. And he's got the link and everything, and